Was the church more effective at taking care of the poor and the sick during the Middle Ages compared to federal welfare today?
It depends on what you mean by effective. If you mean by producing a whole underclass of perpetually dependent and entitled feeling people who are not really in a position to do much of anything except get upset and break things, the church was another failure. And the feds have done a great job. If, on the other hand, you're talking about an all-inclusive program of service that looks both to improving their souls, their minds, and their bodies, and finding those who can work real work and getting them to be productive members of society, well, then I have to say the church was a success and we're failures. But at least it saw tax money at work with the federal program, whereas with the religious in the Middle Ages, the government didn't pay for it.
Wait, who paid for it?
Who pays for anything with the church? People who donated. And of course, don't forget too that the medieval church had a lot of property, and a lot of that property were farmlands. And those farmlands, and they also rented out a lot of their farmlands. One of the interesting things about the Middle Ages was that people they preferred renting from the church to secular lords. The reason for that was simply because whenever a secular lord died, all the rents had to be renegotiated. But a church institution never dies. So you would very often be locked into the same rate your great-great-grandfather had paid.
Wow.
So people kind of liked that a lot.
Not accounting for inflation or anything? I mean, was there? I mean...
There wasn't that much inflation, but no, they didn't account for it because they made the deal. See, again, it's a very, very different frame of reference.
Yeah.
In those days, they considered inflating money, i.e. Adulterating the currency, to be a crime and a sin.
Yeah.
And it was considered a terrible sin for the king, say, to lessen the amount of gold in the coinage or silver.
Mm-hmm.
With us, of course, it's standard policy because we're so much better. But those ignorant, superstitious forebears of ours, they didn't know what they were doing.
No, clearly not.
Yeah.